yeah, it's a bit of a trek. I can't just start with the day of we met at. There is some lead up to how this was even able to happen. So my husband and I met in March of 2014, and it was a little crazy, the circumstances. I was a lifeguard, he was a swimmer. It wasn't one of those sand trap deals at all. It was just, he was a patron, I was there, that's where we happened to meet. I think we'd seen each other, we'd definitely seen each other before the day that we did finally decide, hey. Basically what happened was we had seen each other, of course, in the pool. I would lifeguarded a lot, he swam a lot. But the actual day that he did ask for my number, I was supposed to be out of town. Actually, I think I was supposed to be out of state that day, and it happened that I had decided fairly last minute not to go to an athletic training conference. That's what my degree is in. And I decided just like a week or two before we were supposed to leave that I wasn't actually going to go. And then it was, you know, obviously told my friends and stuff that I wasn't going to go, that I was going to be in town for, you know, that week that I was supposed to be gone. And then a friend of mine, she's like, well, I have this shift on this day and I'd rather not work it. Will you take my shift? And I was like, heck yeah, extra money. So I was able to take my shift. So not only was I not supposed to be in town, this was a shift I had never worked before. And I happened to be working with my friend Maddie, a fellow dork, and she was there for the whole thing. And I have a permanent image of her in my mind, which I will share in a minute, of the day. We were just talking and he was making friendly conversation with her as he was getting done with his laps, and I made a comment about, you know, something that they were talking about. And, you know, then we did a short little chit chat, and then he left. He was done with his laps for the day. He went into the locker room. That was that. Several minutes later, 10 minutes later or so, he comes back and asks for my number. Now, mind you, I'm lifeguarding. I'm not even supposed to be there. I'm basically, you know, making some easy money lifeguarding a huge majority of the time. Not a hard job at all. So I'm wearing basketball shorts, an oversized t-shirt, no makeup, my hair in a bun. So I'm not gonna lie, a part of me, while he was, you know, taking my number down, was like, if he's asking for my number while I look like this, I've got good news, bud. It only goes up from here. So I was very just frumpy that day, and he still asked me out. So I was like, all right, this is looking good. And so the image I have in my mind is he was asking for my number, and he was putting it into his phone, and I happened to look, you know, he's 6'4", so I looked past his shoulder, just over past his shoulder, to my friend up in the lifeguard chair, and she is clutching her water bottle and jumping up and down like this in the chair, just bouncing. And that image is forever in my mind. And of course I saw it and I went and just started focusing on like, yeah, now it's you know, making sure that I got the number right. And so that was how we met. And then we texted back and forth for a while, and actually our first date was the day before St. Patrick's Day. And I definitely overdressed, and he pulled out all the stops, mind you, for the first date. I mean, we stopped at like 4 different places, I think. We went bowling, which I thought that was the date. Nope. We went bowling, then we went to dinner, then we went to drinks. It kept going. It was amazing. It was definitely probably the best date I've been on. And yeah, obviously the rest is history. It's great. I guess though, you know, over the years, because it's been 7 years now. You know, we've shared some things as far as, you know, I think it was a year or two after the fact. I was like, why did you even ask me out at all? And he said what made the decision was, he's like, well, I thought you were, you know, attractive, and I asked, you know, he told himself a couple times, like, all right, I'm gonna ask her out. But what made him go, all right, I'm going to ask her out today, was, I said I was with my friend Maddie, a fellow dork. What solidified my friendship with her was we were out to a bar, and I'd never really been to a proper bar before, and she ordered a pint of whatever, and I said, it comes in pints? And she just went, you, me, best friends. And that was that. And that day I was talking to her about whether or not I should start watching Doctor Who. I wasn't sure if I should because I was already in so many fandoms. And apparently me talking about Doctor Who and being in a bunch of fandoms is what made him go, that one. So of course, after he told me that and I started really geeking out about something or being extra dorky about something, I would just tell him, like, you knew from day one what you were getting into. So yeah, obviously it worked out great. I'm really glad I didn't go to that conference. I'm really glad I took my friend shift, because, you know, now 7 years later, I got a husband, I'm moved out of state, we got 2 pups, and we've done some travel. We're gonna do more. It's just, he's a unique, rare individual. I honestly didn't think this kind of human was even existed. And the fact that they're interested in me is another, just blows my mind all the time. So that's the story of how we met. We did get married last year. We were supposed to get married in April, but obviously those plans got canceled because that was right when everything was starting to shut down for COVID. We missed it, I think, by like 3 weeks, maybe even just 2. If it had started like 2-3 weeks later, we still would have had our stuff happen, but no, it all got canceled. So we pushed it and basically did just a tiny little something at our own place with whoever was willing to come outside. Yeah, and it's been a great year. Been a great 7 years. So thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for listening to my story. Comment any questions you have down below, like this if you enjoyed the story, and subscribe to hear more wonderful stories like this, and ring that bell so you don't miss any of them. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.